exciting. I don't think many people could say they've been inside a bear enclosure. I do feel like I'm kind of walking into a lion's den.
Hello and welcome to The Travel Show with me, Carmen Roberts. And this week I've come to Taiwan to meet a little-known local bear who, believe it or not, is under more threat from extinction than its cuter cousin, the panda. That's in a moment, but first, here's what else is on this week's program.
Tommy gets on his bike to bring us his rundown of the latest travel gadgets, and this week he makes a splash with a new way to snorkel. And we head to China for the final part of Ben's journey through this vast country, using only the power of social media as his guide. And this time, he hooks up with some locals who treat him to some new tastes.
So what is this?
This is the pig's brain.
Yeah. So I was thinking it may be a brain because it looks like a brain.
Kambing, kambing.
But first, the island of Taiwan in Eastern Asia is about 161 kilometers away from the southeast coast of mainland China. Even though the two have had a strained relationship since the 1940s, Taiwan is now a popular destination for many Chinese tourists, as well as those from further afield. Formerly a Portuguese colony called Ilha Formosa, or Beautiful Isle, here in Taiwan you'll find a mix of Eastern and Western cultures, plus stunning scenery, towering cliffs, marble wall gorges, and tropical forests. Once upon a time, you'd also find lots of these, black bears. They're endemic to Taiwan in the same way that the panda is endemic to China. But thanks to poaching and habitat destruction, there are only around 400 Formosan black bears left in the wild, pushing them close to extinction.
So if you're in Taiwan and want to see a Formosan black bear for yourself, with so few numbers left in the wild, the Taipei Zoo is probably the best place to come. What about the black bear? Did you know this is an indigenous bear?
I didn't actually. When I think of Taiwan, I don't think of the black bear.
All I can think of is how hot they must be because their fur is really thick, but they must be used to it, and yes, I think they're really cute. They look like really big dogs to me.
The mature Formosan bear can weigh over 400 pounds. They're omnivorous and they live mainly in the mountainous forested areas of eastern Taiwan. In the winter, rather than hibernating, they will simply move to lower ground in search of food, and that can make them a target for poachers. To find out more about the efforts that are going into securing the future of black bears, I've come to the Pingtung University Research Centre, where the day's work is just beginning.
It's breakfast time.
Here at the centre, they look after orphaned or abandoned bears and carry out research aimed at improving conservation methods.
Mind your head. Oh, here we are. So this is pretty exciting. I don't think many people could say they've been inside a bear enclosure. I do feel like I'm kind of walking into a lion's den. So we've got two hungry bears waiting for their breakfast. Got a box of fruit here, but what Mr. Lee has in his crate here is quite fun. Look, it's food, like pureed vegetables that have been neatly hidden in what looks like a tree trunk so that the bears can forage like they would in the wild. So now we're going to hide them around the enclosure so that the bears can find them. Sweet.
After we've hidden the food in amongst the trees and bushes, we retreat to the roof and wait. king and queen are brother and sister. They're 24 years old, which is around 80 in bear years. And obviously not the most active.
To be honest, this isn't what I thought it would be. I thought the bears would come out ravenous for their food. But they're quite well fed, so all they want to do is grab a bit of fruit and lie in the shade. Who can blame them?
We have about 1,000.
Dr. Huang has dedicated the last 20 years to bear conservation. She estimates only around 300 to 400 are left in the wild.
I think for improving bear conservation, to improve people's awareness about bear is the priority. Because once you know the value of bears, then people will try to conserve them. They will do something.
Back at the Taipei Zoo, the giant pandas seem to be the main attraction. After all, they are a conservation success story, thanks to becoming the poster bears for worldwide wildlife protection. There are now an estimated 2,000 of them living in the wild. And as a result, the gift shop here is awash with panda products.
We have panda lollipops, hair clips, even a little finger puppet. No black bears, though. Found one!
Pandas prove that the first step towards conservation is education. And accordingly, the tourist authority here in Taiwan has made the black bear its official logo, in an effort to raise both the profile of the bear and the country.
We wanted to come up with a symbolic mascot for Taiwan to promote tourism. In the old days, we resorted to movie stars or singers, but it occurred to us that we can go for something more indigenous, so we've chosen the black bear.
Although the proceeds from the sale of all bears at the zoo gift shop goes towards helping protect the black bear, Dr. Huang would like to see more money set aside for conservation.
I don't mind the people or for commercial reason to use bear as like logos or for commercial reason. It's good. But if this commercial effect or marketing activity can have a link with bear conservation, that would be good.
The most famous bear here is Black Sugar. He became a star when he appeared in the film The Life of Pi by Taiwanese director Ang Lee. At least 6 years old, he's a lot younger than other bears here at the zoo, and his star status has made him popular. The zoo, together with conservation organizations, are hoping that Black Sugar's celebrity status will help people here in Taiwan realize that it's not just the giant panda that needs protecting, because they already have their own endangered species right here at home.
And if you want to find out more about bear conservation around the world, here's the travel show guide to things you might want to know.
Lots of bears need help, and it's not just black bears. These smaller sun bears in Borneo can be found near the world-famous Borneo Orangutan Foundation. The numbers of species are thought to have dropped hugely in recent years because of deforestation of their natural habitat. For something a little different, the melting polar ice caps are increasingly threatening polar bears' lives. Seeing these bears in their natural habitat can be a breathtaking experience, as Brandy Janczek discovered for us earlier this year.
This is very sweet.
Polar bears can be found in various northern countries around the world, and Canada can be a great location to get involved in organised polar bear conservation and sightseeing. And finally, this film shows a baby grizzly bear at the Kutsumateen Sanctuary in Canada seeing a human for the first time. This isn't an experience for volunteers, and paying visitors are kept to a minimum, so you may just get to see one of these rare moments for yourself at a price.
What a cutie, huh?
Time now to find out what's going on in the rest of the world. Here's your travel update.
A tram that survived the Hiroshima atomic bomb has been restored to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the attack. Repainted in its original colours, travellers on the tram can watch video testimony from survivors on board. Now, if the idea of attempting a skydive on your travels terrifies you, you might want to look away now. 164 skydivers in the United States, falling at 240 miles per hour, that's 386 kilometers per hour, have secured the record for the largest ever vertical skydiving formation, smashing the previous record of 138 skydivers.
We just picked up a hitchhiking robot. This is so weird.
The journey of a hitchhiking robot that captured the hearts of fans worldwide has come to an abrupt end at the hands of vandals. Hitchbot was created by a Canadian couple as a social experiment to see whether robots can trust humans. But after it had successfully hitchhiked around Europe and Canada, its fateful journey across the United States was cut short after just 2 weeks when it was smashed to pieces in Philadelphia. Farewell, Hitchbot.
Coming up on the travel show,
Tommy's out and about road testing some of the latest travel gadgets. And we catch up with Ben for his final leg of his journey through China, using the power of social media as his guide.
Being on holiday is great. It's a shame I'm not. But if you're off somewhere a little bit more exotic than this, then I've got something for you, even if you're an absolute beginner when it comes to snorkeling. Unlike a conventional snorkel, the Easy Breathe covers both your mouth and your nose, so its manufacturers claim that it makes it more comfortable to use. Part of the snorkel is tinted orange to make it more visible in the water and to avoid bumping into others as you're swimming. Overall, it's a quirky device that might come in handy. It's actually quite hard to fault this. This fits snugly, it lets in ample amounts of air, and it's fairly lightweight too. But what you've got to ask yourself is, are you really going to make use of this? I mean, how often do you really go snorkeling? Being a real man, I don't need no kind of GPS or sat-nav when I'm going around town. I've got a natural sense of direction built into my DNA. Shall we go? Let's go. Is it that way? It's that way, isn't it? The Hammerhead is a GPS system for your bike. Once you've downloaded the app, the device syncs to your smartphone's GPS system. It also comes with preloaded routes and information. Once you set your route, the device lights up giving you left and right directions, but no voice commands like most GPS navigation systems. This even syncs up with others who are on the same route as you. This is actually perfect for when you're traveling in a foreign city because you don't need to know your Strasse from your rue or your street from your lane. It's literally left, right, or straight ahead. Plus, it partners up with the app really easily. Downside is, though, it doesn't actually point out anything of interest, which is what you would get if you had a screen, and it doesn't come with an Allen key, which is essential to attach this to your bike. Come on, guys, throw in an Allen key. What happens when you're at a major tourist site and you use your camera phone to zoom in to take a picture or make a short video? You lose quality, right? The image becomes all pixelated. But what if I could give the lens on this the power of these? The Swarovski Optics aluminium iPhone 6 adapter claims to turn your long-range optical device into a telephoto zoom lens, giving a new perspective of digi-scoping. You simply connect the adapter to your smartphone and a pair of binoculars, and you're good to go. But it's not cheap. There is a lot of fun to be had with these, but you do need an incredibly steady hand because with the binoculars you can end up with quite shaky footage. I'd like to see a universal version of something like this because the capability that it gives your camera phone is unbelievable. It almost makes it into some kind of super camera.
And to end this week, it's time to check in for one last time with Ben Zand, the tech-mad traveller who we've sent to China to see if he can navigate his way around this vast country armed with only a smartphone and some travel-friendly apps.
Chengdu is the capital of Sichuan province. Most tourists know this place as the place to go and see pandas. But I'm hoping to find something a bit more off the beaten path. This time, I'm using Weibo, China's answer to Twitter. And as Sichuan's famous for its food, I want to find somebody in Chengdu who can take me to some authentic Chinese cuisine. Weibo's got nearly 200 million monthly active users. Most use it to communicate in Mandarin, but my little message in English still got a healthy response.
It's had over 30 shares, over 65 comments, and there's a specific one which looks very, very good from a girl called Anne. She's an English undergrad here in Chengdu, which is good because she speaks fluent English, and she's given me like a specific restaurant we should go to, a specific food she should eat, which seems very, very good. Let me see if I can pick her out to a crowd through the power of Weibo though.
I'd arranged to meet Anne in Chengdu's Tianfu Square, but just to make things a little harder, the local police wouldn't let us film there.
Come on, Anne, before we get arrested. Oh, here she is. Here's Anne. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Anne. Thank you very much. Thank you for meeting with me. Hello. Okay, can we stand here so the police don't arrest us?
Anne's offered to show me some truly authentic Sichuan food. She's chosen a Chuan restaurant. Chuan is basically all kinds of meat, fruit and veg served on skewers. But there are some items on the menu that I had definitely not seen down at my local Chinese takeaway.
So what is this?
This is the pig's brain.
Yeah. So I was thinking it may be a brain because it looks like a brain, but I was hoping it wouldn't be a brain. How do you feel when you see a brain? Because not many people eat brains.
I will just think how delicious it is. Yeah.
Okay, well, we are different people. Okay, let's do it. Let's eat some brain. It's just the texture. Oh, it's bitter as well. Oh, it's bitter.
Bitter?
Bitter, yeah. Oh God, oh no, that was very difficult to eat.
Okay, at least you tried. And now you know that you can handle this.
But my trials weren't over.
Oh, it smells delicious.
Time for a tour of the kitchen.
Oh wow, that looks very scary.
That
looks scary. The tongue.
Yeah,
the tongue of the duck. Oh wow, that sounds nice. Oh, just bite through the bone like it's not there. Okay. Okay. It's very hard. Mmm.
How do you feel?
It's nice.
This is rabbit head.
Rabbit head. Wow. Things had just escalated very quickly up in here. Right, I'm not gonna lie, I would never usually eat a duck's tongue or a rabbit's head, but you know, when in Sichuan.
Just split it.
Oh!
To be honest, the process of eating rabbit's head is quite unnerving.
There we go. Face, delicious. Nice bit of face. There we go. Okay, cheers.
Just a few hours ago, I had no idea what I was going to be doing today.
Oh, you love brain, I can tell.
Yeah.
But thanks to Weibo, I've explored the inner workings of a Sichuan restaurant and tried some food that's about as authentic as you're gonna get. I've got one more night left on my journey. My smartphone has definitely shown me another side of China so far, but thanks to censorship, I've mostly been sticking to Chinese apps. But it's not hard to get access to something a bit more familiar.
Being stuck behind the Great Firewall of China can be amazingly frustrating. But one thing you'll quickly learn is that getting around it is very easy, using something called VPNs or virtual private networks. For example, there's a blog here in Chengdu called Chengdu Living. This guy has Twitter, he's got Facebook, he's clearly using a VPN. He also lists all the cool things that are happening in the city. So let's go and meet up with him and see what's going on.
The blogger is Charlie. He's basically the expat king here.
Hey, Charlie, how's it going?
Good, how are you? There are millions of people in China who use VPNs. A VPN tricks the Chinese Great Firewall into thinking that you are accessing a different website than Facebook or a different website from Google. You're accessing some website that they've never seen before.
Whilst most Chinese people don't use them, VPNs are pretty much a necessity for any foreigners looking to keep in touch with the people back home. And it turns out that tonight was something of a big one for the expats here. Charlie and some of his friends were hosting a huge house party. And who doesn't love a good party? The party's got everything. Visual artists, live graffiti, and more DJs than seems completely necessary.
So is this a place that tourists would go to? Is it just like, or not at all?
Generally not. Tourists are welcome, obviously, but it would be difficult for a tourist to find out about this.
It might not be a tourist spot, but many of the guests here are a long way from home.
So where are you from?
I'm from US.
US.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. I've been to Kazakhstan.
I'm from Russia.
Oh, nice. I double love Chengdu. And I was like, you know what? I have to move here.
It's a surprising place to end my journey, surrounded by people from all over the globe. But it's fascinating to see what's brought them here, and to find out what they love about their adopted country.
I started my travels 1,000 miles away in Hong Kong. Back then, I had no idea what I was going to be doing or who I was going to meet. I certainly had no idea I was going to end up in a random house party in the middle of China. This is the way traveling should be, meeting the locals and throwing all your plans out the window.
On my journey, I've seen some breathtaking landscapes and started to unlock a language that's totally alien to me. But it's the people I've met along the way who have made this trip truly unforgettable.
Yeah, so they've taught me absolutely none of these moves. And I've got one thing to thank for getting me here. Something a lot of people take for granted. My smartphone.
Phones are so often seen as a distraction, making us look down and ignore the world around us. But they don't have to be. Come here with an open mind and a good data package, and an adventure can be just around the corner.
Well, that's all we've got time for in this edition of the programme. If you'd like to follow us on our journeys wherever we are in the world in real time, you can sign up to our social media feeds. The details are on your screen now. But until next time, from me, Carmen Roberts, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Taiwan, it's goodbye.